Have you ever planned a Europe trip and secretly worried that the capital cities on your list might look incredible online but completely wreck your budget in real life? Because that is the trap so many travelers fall into. They chase the most famous capitals, pay the highest prices, deal with the biggest crowds, and come home feeling more exhausted than excited. And that is exactly why this video matters, because these are 10 underrated European capitals that are far easier on your budget, far less chaotic, and in some cases might actually give you a better experience than the places everyone keeps telling you to visit. So let's start with Bucharest, Romania, a capital that surprises people the moment they actually give it a chance. It has grand architecture, lively boulevards, elegant historic corners, and a kind of old-world charm that feels far more expensive than it really is. But the real shock is how far your money actually goes here, because instead of feeling like every meal, hotel, and taxi is quietly draining your budget, Bucharest makes the whole trip feel rewarding, comfortable, and almost too good for the price. And that alone is enough to make you seriously question whether the usual overpriced capitals are still worth it anymore. Then there's Belgrade, Serbia, and this city brings a completely different kind of energy. It feels bold, lively, social, and full of personality in a way that is raw and real, not cleaned up and packaged for tourists. And that is exactly what makes it so exciting, because instead of feeling like every corner is designed to take your money, Belgrade feels like a place you can actually live in, enjoy, and connect with. It is cheaper than most people expect, more fun than they imagine, and still underrated enough to feel like one of those rare capitals you discover before everyone else finally catches on. And then you have Sofia, Bulgaria, a capital that so many people overlook until they realize just how much value is packed into it. It is affordable, relaxed, historic, and surrounded by the kind of atmosphere that reminds you Europe can still feel beautiful without being painfully expensive. What makes Sofia so interesting is that it does not try too hard to impress you, but once its charm starts to click, you quickly realize why ignoring cities like this may be one of the biggest travel mistakes people keep making. Now here's where it gets even more interesting, because Budapest, Hungary may be more well-known than some of the others on this list, but for everything it gives you, it can still feel like an incredible deal. The beauty, the atmosphere, the river cutting through the city, the dramatic architecture, and the energy after dark all create that grand European capital feeling people dream about. Yet the overall experience can still feel far more reasonable than what you would expect in much of Western Europe. And once a city like Budapest is already offering this much value, it makes you wonder how many even less famous capitals are still quietly hiding in plain sight. And then comes Vilnius, Lithuania, a capital that feels almost too charming for how little attention it gets. With its cobblestone streets, beautiful old town, and cozy cafes, it gives you that fairy tale European feeling people chase, but without the chaos, pressure, or ridiculous prices. And that is what makes Vilnius so powerful, because once you experience a capital this beautiful and this calm without overpaying for every moment, you start wondering why you were ever willing to settle for the crowded, overpriced version of Europe in the first place. Next is Riga, Latvia, a capital that quietly holds its own against some of the most beautiful cities in Europe. The architecture alone can catch you off guard, with colorful facades, intricate details, and a style that feels historic and refreshingly modern at the same time. But what really makes Riga stand out is the way it feels so balanced, because you are not overwhelmed by crowds, you are not rushing from one place to another, and your budget does not feel like it is being drained every second, which is exactly the kind of experience many of Europe's most popular capitals can no longer give you. Then there's Sarajevo, Bosnia and Herzegovina, and this one really does hit differently. It is not just beautiful, it feels deeply real, with a mix of cultures, history, and atmosphere that gives the city an emotional weight many places simply do not have. There is something about Sarajevo that stays with you long after the trip ends, and the fact that it is still so affordable makes the experience feel even more special because you are not just visiting another city. You are connecting with a place that most travelers still completely overlook. Now let's talk about Podgorica, Montenegro. And honestly, this is where a lot of people get confused, because it is not flashy, it is not dramatic, and it is not trying too hard to win you over. But that is exactly why it works. Podgorica feels calm, simple, and surprisingly well-positioned near some of the most stunning nature in Europe, which gives it a kind of quiet value most travelers do not see at first. And because it is not crowded with tourists, everything feels more accessible, more genuine, and far less expensive than you would expect in a country that is becoming more popular every single year. And finally, there's Warsaw, Poland, and Skopje, North Macedonia. Two capitals most people would never even think to compare, yet both offer something surprisingly valuable. Warsaw blends modern energy with deep history in a way that feels fresh, dynamic, and far more affordable than many travelers expect, while Skopje goes in a completely different direction, bold, unusual, and still one of the cheapest capitals you can visit in Europe. And when cities like these are still flying under the radar, it makes you realize something important. Europe has not become too expensive, people are just choosing the wrong capitals.